Hello, in this video I will explain how to validate a form with Modal in React, and that a warning appears saying that there is an error when leaving an input or empty space in the form. This part would be the part of the error validation of a form with Modal in React from the React example CRUD. First, what we are going to do is create a cons that would be error create and set error create the use state in false. And inside the arrow function store, we are going to create an if with the following to validate that if the length of the cons that we use in the forms is 0, an error appears. And makes the use state of the set error create be true. Then I use an else and an if so that at least the length is 1 or more in all the inputs that we use in the create form. And so we close the if and open so that it continues with the rest, which in this case is create. And that would be for that case. Then we go to the update part and create the cons error update and set error update and the use state to false. And inside the arrow function button update, we are going to create an if with the following to validate that if the length of the cons that we use in the update forms is 0, an error appears. And makes the use state of the set error update be true. I also use the getAll product to show the data in the same way. Then I use an else and an if so that at least the length is 1 or more in all the inputs that we use in the update form. And so we close the if and open so that it continues with the rest, which in this case is update. And that would be for that case. After having this, we go to the return part, and continue developing the following. First what we would have to do is go to our form, and in the inputs that we use we are going to need the onChange and the set. In this case, it is set name, target, value, and the value, which is example name. Then below this, we are going to make the error appear. If the length is equal to 0, meaning that when you fill it in, I leave it empty, the create error would be related to the use state. And example name length with the number of words that are used when filling out the form. In this case, if it is equal to 0, it shows the text. In this case, it is error in the name field that has a class with a style. Then we close. We do this again with the other inputs of the create. The CRUD is related to the button that has the on-click store. Then we go to the update form, and we are going to do the same, but in this case, it is the error, update and name update length is equal to 0, and we do the same with the other inputs of the form. The update is related to the button that has the on-click button update item. Finally, the class that I added has a margin and a color for the div that shows the error. That would be all.